Alright, next thing that I want to talk about is the sky that we have right now, and right now, as you see, we have some default sky, and in fact, we can change the sky, and we can have different kind of effects. For example, if you are doing the game with a space in space, you might want to add some cooler skybox, which is set to space, and there are a lot of skyboxes. And I prepared some skybox folder. It will be attached on this video. And if we open, it has the stylized sky, which has the materials. And all of those materials are basically skyboxes. And we can use those materials, any of them, by the way. This is from the Unity's asset store. And if for some reason you have some difficulties with this folder, you probably won't. But still, you might find this and other skyboxes in the Unity asset store if you want them. This one is now this customize a Sable skybox. So if you want, you can check this out and click on this. Add to my assets. I already show you how to download the assets in your project from the asset store, but you might want to use some other skyboxes. They are much better skyboxes, and yeah, some of them are real large for almost 300 megabytes. But ours is pretty small, so as an example, it works fine anyway. Now let's talk how to set this skybox up. So, I will open the stylized sky materials of this window. And now let's go in the window. I am rendering a lightning, and this window will pop up. We can go in the environment, and it's basically control skybox and also lightning. And we will talk about it as well. And now you see the skybox material, which is set to default skybox right now. We can basically drag and drop any of those skyboxes here. And now you see we have completely different skybox. If I go in the game wheel, we have different kind of lights here. We can use basically any of those. We have day ones. Now with the different now effects and colors. We also have the night ones like these. So feel free to use any of those. If you don't like any of those, you can find other skyboxes in the asset store, and you can use them as well. So probably I will use none of them looked great, I think. But as an example, they work okay. I will use this day one, doesn't really matter. I wanted to use this night, but I don't like the colors of it. So I will use this day one, okay. And this is how easily you can create skyboxes. And one more thing. You see this generate lightning button when you do. As some lights. When you change some lights, including skybox in order this game, your final great game, to include the lights that you change. You might want to click on this. Generate lightning, and it will generate light. Right now, we don't have much, so it's pretty fast. But if you have some lots of lights in your project, it might take a little bit longer. And by the way, to add additional light right now, our light source. Main source is directional light. And if we select this directional light, we have some light component here, as you see. And we have this intensity as well. We can drop this intensity down, and we will have much less light. Or we can increase this intensity, and we will have now lots of lights. So by default, it's set to 1. We might want to, well, at least me. I will set it to a 0.6 for the skybox. I think it will look much better. Also, we can add some additional lights into our project. Right now, it's not really necessary. But if you have some dark and darker scene, for example, let's change the skybox for a moment. Well, you don't have to do it. I will just show you something. Let's make it really dark. Well, it's not a lot of us to make the sky light really dark, so I take this intensity down on 0, for example. Now to add some different lights. So let's select player, let's see the F to zoom in. We can go in the empty space of the rock panel. We can find here lights. And you see we have for basic options. Well, we don't care about directional light. We already have it. But we know most of the used are point lights and spotlights. And basically, if we select the spotlight, it will be just spotlight. You see are right here. Let's go in game where we have the spotlight. We can change color of the spotlight. Make it other color. We can change the range and also intensity to make it more intense or less intense. It's really up to you, and we can also change the angle. So this angle will make the space a spotlight already used to be bigger or smaller. And you might want this spotlight in some cases. For example, if you are doing some city lights, you want to place that at the end of the city light model, and also you can use some point light. And this point light also is pretty useful. Sometimes you see it like some area here. Some point, it's called point, but in fact it like some area. We can make range to be bigger. We can make intensity again bigger or smaller, and also change color of it. What I like to do with the point light. For example, if you have the CD, you might place the spotlight in the window. And if you have some night scene going on, it will look like that. The light comes out of the window, and it might give you some cooler look. And also it can be used in other details. You can place this point light as a child of any kind of game object. Then they will have the point light and some light, additional lights, and that's pretty much it. How you can create some skyboxes. I will change the skybox back again to my day 1. And also, I will increase the directional light in the inspector to be 0.6 intensity. And we are back to normal state. Bye. I'll end this video over here. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you won't miss any new videos. See you in the next videos.